Yeah! Hello, hi, and how are you?
I'm Jeff.
I'm Al.
And I'm Goo.
And this is PehBahcast number 4. Today we will be discussing Generation 1 of our favorite game, or one of our favorite games, Pokemon.
Pokemon.
It.
That could be a whole other podcast now.
It's gonna be. It's gonna be a worldwide debate
Of the Beef It's What's for Dinner song?
It's not what it's called, but we're talking about Pokemon.
Okay, we're talking about Pokemon. Generation 1 of Pokemon.
Yep.
For those of you who don't know, which nobody I know anyway, Generation 1 of Pokemon consisted of Pokemon Red and Green and Blue in Japan, and Pokemon Red and Blue and Yellow in...
Oh, they had yellow there too.
Yeah, they had the yellow there too.
Mm-hmm.
But...
It was basically red, blue,
Red,
green,
red blue,
yellow.
green. So...
Basically like the main colors. Or
Main
whatever.
colors.
Which ones did you guys own, actually?
I own... My first ever Pokemon game was Pokemon Yellow.
Oh, it was yellow. Okay.
It was yellow, and then I ended up buying blue.
I owned red and blue at the same time, then I got yellow.
It was funny because I actually owned blue first. Then I owned yellow after that. So
I remember, it's ironic actually because my sister got red and I got yellow for Easter in our Easter baskets. It was just little tacks.
were your parents trying to say something about you?
That I'm yellow?
What are they trying to say about his sister then?
She's red. She's red with anger.
Oh,
But yeah.
well, Gen 1 and Gen 2, I got both games at the same time for whatever reason. I was one of those kids that got
Both. You were like the forever alone kid.
I was. I didn't know anyone who played the games as a kid.
It's okay.
I have 2 Game Boys as well.
I think I only had one, which was kind of stupid.
But back in the days of the Game Boy, where we had to use that link cable to trade.
Yeah.
Yep. I still have my Game Boy Color.
But so Pokemon Red and Blue. It's like obviously those are the games that obviously like started like the big multi-billion-dollar conglomerate that is Pokemon
Conglomerate.
of America. Pokemon.
You make it sound like Donald Trump owns it or something.
Yeah, he might.
You never know.
He might have a small stake in it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he
But,
owns a game. He
yeah.
plays himself.
But Pokemon Red and Blue were released in Japan in I think like 1998, 97 or 98.
Probably.
But did you guys know that the very first trademark for anything Pokemon related was trademarked back in like 1993?
Really?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where they trademarked the name Mew.
Yeah. It's interesting to see how far back the whole, even before it's actually made, how far back the idea went. Just I don't know. It's just really interesting.
So do you think like every time Donald Trump would release a Pokemon, he'd go, "You're fired."
You fired.
Well, the Pokemon's drawn off then. We'd be free.
It would be.
Maybe Trump's the Pokemon. You're fired. You're fired.
He just uses flamethrower every time.
Twump, 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 twump.
But like when if you guys can even remember, because I sure as hell can't. Like when you guys farted your very first Pokemon save file. Well, this is just going along swimmingly. But when you guys started your very first save file, did you actually like name the character after yourselves, or
I think I did.
Or did you just go with like a generic name like Ash or Red or I think Jack? Or John were the other options?
I think if I didn't, I don't know why. Just because like getting to like name the character, you could name it yourself. Name it after you. I might have kept the rival the same.
After Goo.
Well, I wasn't Goo back then.
No, I know.
You were. What was your name back then? Gooey.
I don't know, like Toddler and Goo, Godler.
Godler.
There
you go. But what was your guys' first starter? Obviously, other than Yellow.
Charmander.
I just named myself Jeff.
Oh, that's right.
I wasn't creative enough.
That's okay. I'm almost positive I just named My character, Al.
I would have preferred naming it after me though. Just it's not like creative, but
Yeah.
you know.
I think I started with Charmander as well.
Yeah.
But that was before my save data got erased.
But
Somebody.
some little kid. None of us.
None of us.
No. Well, obviously not you.
Yeah, obviously not me.
You were a little kid.
I was.
But, like, everybody was like, because I think when I started my blue file, I started with Squirtle.
Yeah.
Because, like, it was almost like a difficulty level because Bulbasaur...
Wasn't Bulbasaur the easiest?
Bulbasaur was, like, the easiest way to go because it evolves to its final stage at the earliest.
Yeah.
Because Wartortle and Charmeleon both evolve at level 36, while Ivysaur evolves to Venusaur at level 32.
Mm-hmm. Not only that, but the type advantage.
But the, like, the Bulbasaur evolutionary line also had a type advantage against...
First few gyms.
I think about at least half the gyms. It was either super effective against or had a resistance to most of the gyms.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because grass is super effective against rock and ground, water, and it's resistant to electric.
Yep.
So you're good against the first 3 gyms.
Yeah.
While
Charmander you'll have trouble with.
Right. Charmander's weak anyway against the first 2 gyms because it's weak against rocks.
Kind of like a neutral playing field with Surge.
Unless you have a Charizard by the 3rd gym, then it's weak.
Yeah.
But yeah, like red, blue, and yellow definitely had its difficulty curve because it was definitely like kind of pretty challenging.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was simple though. It was really easy to get into.
Yep. Story wise, there wasn't really that much. It was the story. It was there, but it was very, very.
Looking back, it's like compared to like the game, like the previous few games, it's like, the story. There was some sort of story, but at the same time, it wasn't like
it was an awkward burp.
Yeah.
I might have thrown up a little bit in my mouth. Almost.
As long as you don't on my legs, then we're good.
We're good.
But yeah, it's like the story was. Anyway, it was basically like Team Rocket wants to steal your Pokemon,
right?
Or wants to steal Pokemon in general, and it's like the rival in the game. Like, I don't know whether to say like the rival was okay, or to like really like it because it
was a rival. It was like an arrogant, not really an antagonist. I wouldn't really consider him.
It was like a childhood rivalry, I guess. Yeah. Just because like trying to like one up each other, I guess.
Pretty much.
Which came across really well in the anime too.
Yeah.
But
I remember missing no.
Yes.
I love the missing no glitch.
I'm not gonna deny using it because I definitely used it. Although it wasn't there in yellow, they fixed it for yellow.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I used the crap out of that.
Well, this is back. This is like way back before like even because like up until I only played through Gen 2, but up until then I would just play. I would have like all 4 slots of moves with like attacks, whether it didn't really matter. Just
like you would have a Charmeleon know all fire moves or something, right?
I don't know, but it'd probably be like 2 or fire moves or something, but I didn't really care about like because I didn't like who am I gonna battle with, you know? It's like back then you only could battle with Link.
Like Pokemon wasn't as like calculating as it is now.
Not only that, but it wasn't as widely accessible as it is now.
Yeah,
because now you can just sit in whatever room and easily connect with someone. Back then, you actually
wirelessly connect with somebody. Yep. Well, back then you needed that big old, well, not big, but that primitive link cable.
Yeah, which was interesting though.
It's also a marginal increase to the roster of Pokemon
they
can choose from.
Whoa! Use some big words here. Marginal.
Margarine. You should understand that one.
Fatty.
Increase.
Fatty McFat. Fat. Butter. Fat. Lard. Fat. Okay, we're getting off topic here.
You could have said Snorlax.
Fatty.
Yeah, you could have said
Fat.
Snorlax. That's not even Gen 1.
Okay, we're getting off topic here. Anyway.
Snorlax.
Fatty.
This podcast has now just become about food.
Yeah.
Okay. But, one of the things that annoyed me with Pokemon Red and Blue was the SSN. like once you were done with it, once you were done battling on it, the ship left, and the guy outside of the shipyard said, "Hey, the ship will be back in a year." And a year could go by in real time, but obviously there's no way to tell time in Generation 1.
Yeah.
So the ship never came back. So it's like you like when you're on that ship, you had to make sure that you picked up every item, battled every trainer.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, did that bother you guys at all?
Not that I remember.
Okay. Yeah, not that I remember either.
Okay.
Now, anyone have any favorite Pokemons from that generation? Perkamers?
Other than the starter chains?
Yeah, other than the starters.
Of the original 151.
Yep.
There's even just from Gen 1, it's a lot. Now, I mean, are we talking about favorite at the time or favorite from Gen 1 now?
Both.
That you can remember.
I don't, like, because, like I said, like, back then, I just kind of played the game, like, just to play, because, like, I enjoyed the game, but I played it to play it. Like, now, like, I pay attention more to, like, moves and whatnot.
Yeah.
I don't know, I think for some reason, I really loved Cubone and Marowak. I don't know. I don't know if it's favorite, but I really enjoyed them.
That's unexpected. It's a good choice, though.
Yeah.
There was another. I like Cubone and Marowak.
There's just something. I don't know. It's like just something about them. I guess it's just
they're depressing.
Like ground types. I don't know.
Yeah. About you, Jeff.
I was about to say the same thing to you.
You go first.
Jay comes before A.
Yeah. Not really. Was it Cecil?
Sizzle?
Yeah.
That was Gen 2.
That was Gen 2?
Scyther was Gen...
Thank you.
It's okay.
Thank you.
It's okay.
Yeah.
FYI, it's been a while since Jeff has played Generation 1.
We're trying to get
Jeff back.
Generation
1's been a while.
We're trying to get Jeff back in Pokemon.
Right.
More, so...
Yeah.
He's getting there.
He's getting there.
He made it through the cave.
He has the knowledge.
I made it through that cave.
The fucking wrong with you.
Which you surpassed me when you went through the Charge Cave.
Chargestone Cave, Generation 5. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dynamo.
So you say Scyther's your favorite from Gen 1, though?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, Scyther's cool.
Scyther was cool.
Yeah.
It's nice that you guys aren't saying, like, the typical answers.
Pikachu, Raichu.
It's actually, like, really, like, surprisingly pleasant. Because, like, a lot of people I talk to, they're like, Mewtwo, Charizard.
Well, that's why I asked if we're excluding the Star Chain. Because if we were including the Star Chain, I probably would have said, like, the Charmander line. But what about you?
Okay, let's see.
You like Kakuna, didn't you?
Kakuna was nice. Beedrill was badass.
Yeah.
I used Beedrill. But, I'd have to, for me, honestly,
Weedle.
Wheel?
Weedle.
I thought I said Wheel. There was no Pokemon named Wheel.
Gar.
We can make one?
Maybe.
Okay.
Well, for me, it'd have to be a toss-up between Gyarados and Arcanine.
You see, I think, like, now that you mention it, it's like Arcanine.
Actually, like, for Gen 1, I'd have to say Arcanine was probably my favorite. Just because, like, Gyarados was badass, but it couldn't learn Earthquake yet.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it was able to learn Earthquake until Gen 3.
Gotcha.
I probably
it became your beast.
Yeah.
I probably would have to change my answer to Arcanine now, just because...
Because you want to copy him?
Yeah. No, but... Like, they're just...
I mean, it's a big fire dog.
Yeah, just the way it looks. Like, I love the way Arcanine looks.
It's like, it's just big and majestic and stuff.
Like, Ninetales is cool, too, but... Something about, like...
To me, it's like, even though there weren't... Well, there was the Nidoran line, but there wasn't any genders back in Gen 1. But I consider, like... Not really obviously not stat-wise, because Arcanine has stats on par with a legendary Pokemon.
No, it is legendary.
Yeah. The species.
Yeah. It's not a legendary,
But I consider, like, Ninetales to be, like, a female Arcanine. Because, like, it just seems more, like, elegant, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So. But, okay, so Gen 1 took place in the Kanto region.
Mhm.
Did you guys have like a particular like favorite city or area in the game?
Oh. Isn't there a tower? Like
Oh,
a
the,
ghost.
The
Yeah.
Pokemon Tower in Lavender Town?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
That music.
The Lavender Town. The Gen 1's Lavender Town. I remember when I was like 9 years old
Yeah.
when I started playing Pokemon. And I thought that was honestly like really creepy. Because it was just a big tower full of tombstones and chandlers and ghostly people.
Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't allowed like forgot what the Pokemon that were there.
Ghastly.
Yeah, Ghastly.
Ghastly's, Haunters.
Yeah.
Obviously no Gengars.
Yeah.
What about you, Goo?
Huh. I don't know. Maybe Celadon. Just because.
Celadon. The department store.
Yeah. Nah.
The gym full of women. That creepy old man that stands outside the gym looking in the
Yeah.
window like, this gym is great. It's full of women.
Peaks on me. Other than Celadon, I mean, there's a lot of good towns and stuff, but it's like trying to remember, not only like the towns and the areas, but like, cause like the towns and the areas you can't like just I don't think you can really view by themselves. You have to like take the music of them too. You know.
Yep.
So I don't know.
Pokemon. Well, all generations
Yeah.
have good music, but
Yeah.
Red and Blue had some good music.
Although I mean. I guess Celadon, just because like the department store is like a big city and whatnot.
Had the game corner.
Yep. If not like
Had
Victory Road and stuff.
Had that Celadon had that big tower where you go to the top and you find that room and the guy gives you an Eevee free of charge.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Yep.
That was such a hard decision, deciding what to evolve. Cause,
Even though back then there was only 3
Yeah.
choices.
Yeah.
'cause, like I was playing by myself, so it's like, oh, I gotta make the right choice. Like 3 choices back then seemed a lot. I mean, now you can get them all, but
Right, because it's like like now it's to the point where you can capture Eevees in the wild.
or
At some areas.
yeah, or you can just breed them too.
Right.
Especially in
Breeding.
black 2 and white 2, just so much easier to breed now.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But back then, it really made you feel like you need it was an important decision to make. It was like choosing a starter.
Yep.
You couldn't just you could with a friend, but you couldn't just breed them yourself and whatnot.
I got really into the Pokemon card game, trading card game.
The actual or the
The
video
actual
game?
or the Game Boy?
The actual.
Okay.
I had the Game Boy one too.
I
The
had
Game Boy
too.
one was bad.
I had the Game Boy.
I didn't
one.
like the Game Boy one.
It wasn't bad.
It was alright. I mean,
was
I never,
alright.
I never really played it that much.
Yeah, but it wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad. But I would rather have it's like you're playing the game and it's like, oh hey, I got a holographic Charizard
It's not the same feeling.
in
Yeah.
the game.
It's
Yeah.
it's not the same feeling.
Because them Pokemon cards, it's like if you had
Uh,
a holographic Charizard
and I had one.
back in
Was
the
it first edition?
It was not, I don't think.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, it would have been amazing if it was.
Yeah.
It's like, even if it wasn't first edition, if you had a holographic Charizard card back in, say, 99, 2000, you were,
King.
king.
Or queen.
Or both.
You're royalty.
Yeah, pretty much.
You are a higher up on the
It
playground.
just makes me kick myself even more because I sold mine on eBay because I needed the money. I wish I kept the Pokemon cards.
Now?
Yeah.
Well, they ain't worth too much now.
No. I mean, I sold them a few years ago.
Okay.
But
I sold mine a few years ago.
I wish I kept mine just because it's
The only
Memories.
the only card these days that's worth anything is the first edition holographic Charizard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the main reason I wish I kept it, just because I had the holographic Charizard. It wasn't the first edition, but it was still a holographic Charizard.
Yeah.
I gave my cards away to the kid across the street.
You should go beat him up and take him back.
I think he's taller than I am now.
You should beat him up and take your cards back. But he weighs 400 pounds. You should beat him up and take your cards back.
Do you have a favorite town or?
I would I'd probably say Lavender Town just because it was extremely creepy, but it was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Cause I don't know if you guys remember, but if you go south from Lavender Town, there was that lookout tower with the lady in there, and she would give you the technical machine it was $39. It was Swift.
Yeah.
and you talk to her, and she's like, she literally says, "Hey, my Pokemon's buried in the tower. I was gonna teach it this move, but I don't need it anymore."
Yeah.
Oh.
And then like she gives, and it's like, that's so depressing.
Yeah. It's like from watching the anime, you wouldn't expect that.
Right, because it's like when they went to Lavender Town in the anime, it was still creepy, but it didn't have that same effect like it had in the games. It was,
Yeah.
But
that's a case of like trying to. The anime doesn't really follow the game.
now what about like going from Celadon, you go south, you hit Fuchsia City. What do you guys think of the Safari Zone?
Oh, yeah,
Safari Zone was pretty interesting.
Because like obviously you couldn't send your Pokemon out to battle. Yeah. All you could do is either throw a rock at it, or throw a bait at it, or run. Or throw a ball.
That's where Scyther was, right?
Yep, that's where Scyther was. Tauros, Kangaskhan, Chansey.
Wasn't it like rare to get a Dratini in there?
Yeah, you had to like fish it up, but it was like
Yeah.
I think it was really rare. I think it was like a 10-15% chance.
Yeah.
But it's like if you threw bait at it, it makes it easy. It makes it less chance of it to run.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
But it's like you can't, if you throw a ball, sometimes you can miss.
Yep.
While if you throw a rock at it, it increases your chance of catching it, but it also increases the chance of it fleeing.
Yeah. Which
would really suck. It's like, okay, and you throw a rock, you see a Chansey, because I think obviously Chansey was the rarest thing in there, and you finally run into one, and you throw a rock at it and it flees, and it's like you're like,
yeah. It was a pretty interesting concept.
I liked it.
Yeah.
It was cool. It was a cool area.
Yeah. Just because, like, up until that point, like, you battle to lower the health just low enough to get to capture the Pokemon.
It's like, I think I just liked it because it was all up to chance. It's like, it's like, okay, do I want to risk throwing a rock at this thing?
Yeah. But, I mean, plus the Pokemon in there were pretty cool.
There were some pretty good ones. Like Jeff said, there's Scyther. Because Scyther was, Scyther still is Beast. Pinsir, Tauros.
I love Pinsir.
I honestly think that the Safari Zone had some of like the best battling Pokemon in there because of Scyther, because of Pinsir, Kangaskhan, Tauros, Chansey, Dratini. If you didn't want to spend your money to save up the coins to get one from the game corner.
I still wish Pinsir had like a second evolution, but it's because I really love Pinsir. No real reason. I just just looking at it. I just love the visually.
It just looks really bad.
Did you dream about it every night?
Yeah.
You got kind of gooey in the pants. He's not denying it, folks.
I couldn't think of a comeback.
Ha! Fatty.
Asian.
Jeff.
Goo.
L.
Okay. But
Safari Zone.
Safari Zone was also really key because you had to get HM3 from the Warden.
I forgot what HM3 was.
Surf.
That's right.
Because obviously Surf was really key in getting through the freaking Tentacool.
Yep.
Tentacool lane.
Tentacruel.
Running into a Tentacool every 2 seconds.
Don't be Tentacruel, be Tentacool.
Okay, I actually have another question now that I think about it. What Pokemon was more annoying to you guys, Zubat or Tentacool?
I don't think I got really annoyed back then.
I'm trying to remember.
I don't know.
I think it was Tentacool.
Yeah,
I would say Tentacool too. Just
I'd probably say Tentacool as well.
I think there's more chance that you're gonna surf than you are going to go through the cave.
Okay, that's true.
Yeah.
Because you have to surf. Yeah.
When you're surfing around, you're not necessarily looking to get Pokemon.
Right.
You just want to get from one area to another.
Right.
For the most part.
Okay. Actually, going back, talking about a cave for a minute. Mount Moon, going way back. At the end of Mount Moon, you were able to pick a fossil, the Dome fossil for Kabuto, or the Helix fossil for Omanite. The little oyster-looking thing. Not really oyster, snail, I guess. Do you remember which one you guys picked? I think I ended up picking Kabuto, because I thought Kabutops looked really bad with the 2 sickles.
Yeah, Kabutops. Kabutops is awesome.
I mean, oh, Amistar doesn't. The thing is, for me, is like Ammonite and Amistar. It's very little difference to me.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like Kabutops, there's a massive difference.
There was a pretty massive difference. Like Kabuto was a little like beetle-looking thing.
And Kabutops was like
It was just like
hey,
Grim Reaper
yeah.
with those sickles.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I didn't, I don't know why I would have chose Kabuto.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember choosing Kabuto. So I forgot about Kabutops. It's like, oh yeah,
Kabuto.
How about you? What did you pick?
I picked Kabutops, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
It's like I don't like snails.
Yeah.
It's like
It's
I guess you hate Gary then.
How could you?
Gary, I thought we had something special.
Meow. It's interesting they have because you get to choose a starter, you get to choose.
There's a lot of choosing in
Yeah.
game.
Choose a starter, choose the
The
fossil,
fossil,
choose the
the
evolution.
I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's like choices. Choices are good.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
Which was like I'd like to think that it was like kind of primitive back then.
yeah. Just because of, I mean, look at what we have now and compare it to something back then. Just you can such a massive difference.
Exactly.
Not only quality, like graphics wise, but I guess gameplay, story wise too.
Story-wise.
Features.
Yeah, features. Yeah.
But Cinnabar Island, the place where you take the fossils to get revived. It also had which is also
Blaine.
the Blaine, the gym leader for fire types. Yep. And then but it also had the spot where you surf for missing no.
Oh yeah.
And then it also had that Pokemon mansion, that burned down Pokemon mansion,
Mm-hmm.
where it's like do you remember it all at all, Jeff? It was that really burned down mansion, and like it had like a lot of poison type Pokemon in there, some fire types.
Somewhat.
Okay.
Yeah.
But one thing I remember from it, and this is actually kind of interesting because you know I obviously like we've all seen the movies, like the first movie.
Yeah.
But one of, like it had like journal entries in that mansion where it's like, oh, I think it said February 6th.
Yeah.
And they was talking about Mew. Like, oh, like Mew gave birth. We named the baby Mewtwo. Which is weird because like seeing the first movie, the first Pokemon movie,
Yeah.
it's like they explained in the movie how Mewtwo came to be, and it's like completely different from the way it was explained in the journal entries in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, that could just be a case of the anime not really following what the game sets up, but also, I guess technically speaking, Mew did quote unquote give birth to Mewtwo in a way by
The DNA,
Yeah.
the genetics. Yep.
like so. I mean, technically, kind of thing, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Okay.
Which I mean, but the first movie though, just seeing the backstory of Mewtwo, not only tying in with the anime pretty well, but
Extremely well.
yeah, but just the backstory from Mewtwo, and Mewtwo was it was just a great story from Mewtwo. I think the first movie, but
Look like you want to say something, Jeff.
What did you guys think about in Pokemon Yellow having Pikachu follow you around?
I liked it because I thought it was kind of cool.
yeah,
Like the whole like you look back at him, you talk to him, and it has like different emotions.
yeah,
Which like basically became like the happiness system.
Yep.
In later Pokemon games.
Yep.
But I don't know. I liked it at first, but I think after a while, it just got on my nerves.
And that he was just following
He
you.
was just following me. What did you think, Goo?
I like that. I liked Yellow because it followed the anime, which is pretty cool. But I'm indifferent about it because I know people out there, just from like Tumblr and stuff, that are really adamant about
Having a Pokemon follow you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna say don't put that in. It's a stupid idea. But at the same time, I'm not gonna. It's not a deal breaker for me. Like I can live with if it's in the game, that's cool. But if it's not in the game, I'm cool with it.
I thought it was kind of excessive when they brought it back in this Gold and Silver remake.
Yeah, 'cause
where you could have any Pokemon
Yeah.
Really?
follow you. Any of them.
Whichever
it's
one
like,
was first in the party.
whichever one was first in the party would follow
okay.
you. And I thought that was kind of weird.
Yeah.
Just like, okay, Pikachu, fine. If it was like a starter, fine. But like, It's like you have like a Kyogre follow you. Kyogre is a giant whale.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So it doesn't look weird.
Yeah. But I mean, you know, I'm fine with or without it. It's I personally would like if I had to make the decision, I'd say don't put it in, just because I don't really care.
What did you think about it, Jeff?
It was interesting.
It was a nice little feature.
It was a nice little feature.
Yeah. It's one of those things that it's like it's nice, like visually and whatnot, but it's not really.
It's not a necessity.
Yeah, it's not core to the gameplay.
Yeah.
No.
Well,
no.
I mean, for Yellow, it kind of was, but for any other game, it's like,
Yeah.
Now the Elite Four, the big challenge. Like, do you guys, from what you can remember, did you guys have like any problems with it?
Yeah.
Because I remember I had pretty big Brad problems.
Big
Brad
Brad problems.
You get big Brad problems.
I don't know who Brad is. I don't know any Brads.
I don't know if
We're gonna know soon. Apparently,
Maybe.
we're gonna have some big Brad problems.
I don't
Big
know.
brand problems? What?
Having a fiber issue.
Apparently I'm in desperate need of fiber.
I don't know if it was the case in Gen 4 or Diamond Pearl, I guess, but it seems in Gen 5 the Elite Four.
We're not talking about Gen 5. Get back on topic, fatty.
I will. With Gen 5, I don't know if it's a case of like having so much technology at your disposal, where you can just be like, oh, let me just look up this Elite Four real quick. Okay, that's what type they use. I'll just use this type, kind of thing. Yeah. That makes it seem easier if it's just easier in general. But in Gen 1, I just remember having such a tough time with it, just because back then, at the time we didn't have the internet. I was like, I can't go online. I'm like, oh, what type do they use? What's weak against it? What's strong against it?
There was Prima, though. Prima strategy guides.
Oh
I think I
yeah,
had a few of
strategy
them.
gudes.
Yeah.
Like where you actually had to buy a strategy
Where we
guide
actually
in order
had
use
to buy
something.
a physical guide.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, nothing will beat that, but at the same time, it just gets
I
so
think
much easier.
I basically just bought strategy guides so I can look at the pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like a book.
Looks like you're opening a shower curtain and peeping at someone.
See, Mom, I can read. Yeah.
Hell, that's the dog.
That's the dog's butthole.
Oh. It says O.
That's the only letter.
But if you
Sometimes it's small, sometimes it's big.
do you remember
O is normal, O is swollen.
do you remember
That's an inside joke there.
do you remember having any troubles with the Elite Four, Jeff?
Not that I remember. It was also my brother and I shared the save file.
Oh,
That's why we were both pissed when we were 100% done and it was erased.
Well, I can understand that.
Yeah. Because, back then, it's you could just start a new game and save over it, no problem.
Yep.
Yep.
Luckily, now they implemented the system where you have to actually delete the previous save file, which is nice.
It is nice.
Yeah, you have to just actually put in. You can't just go.
You can start a new game, but you can't
Yeah.
save over it. You can't save over the previous one without deleting the old one. And they don't necessarily make it easy to delete the old one either.
Yeah,
'cause you have to go to the title screen and hold down left, right, start, and A, I think.
I think it's might be all four of the main buttons.
Maybe.
But yeah, it's not like you just hit go scroll down A, delete. Are you sure? Yes, A.
Yeah.
You have to actually hold down certain
Which is
buttons
good
to do
for
it.
people like me and my 3,000 hours across 3 games.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's okay. My data is still good.
Yeah.
Yep.
The,
That's still good.
if your data ever
I give up.
corrupted,
I give
erased,
up.
or whatever, I would not blame you for just
I give up.
up.
I would not play Pokemon
No.
again for a long, long time.
You just
Yeah.
push it aside, sit back. I'm done with it.
Yep.
I would not blame you.
I'd move on to another DS game. I'm like, yep. And then that would get erased.
Yep.
That's the thing. It's like the thing. I'm so paranoid just because they're so small. And
They're so fragile. They're tiny.
Yeah.
And they're like paper thin almost.
Yeah.
Could easily lose that.
Yeah.
Crush it, step on it,
Yeah.
Sit on it.
So I'm
Flush it down a toilet.
so
mistake
paranoid.
it for food.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Oh boy, Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
I'm even paranoid to keep it in. What's Cinnamon Toast Crunch? I'm even paranoid to put a DS game in the hard DS case I have.
Yeah.
Where there's slots for it, just because it's like.
could always get Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
If you had to.
Good game. Great game.
Look,
Yep.
but
But I digress. Okay. Elite Four.
Yeah.
Do you remember having any problems with it, Jeff?
I don't remember relatively having any.
I know.
Difficulties.
I had a lot of problems.
Yeah.
Especially like with Lance and his dragons, because I didn't realize that dragons were weak to ice.
Yeah.
I only knew they were like resistant to things like fire, grass, electricity, water.
Yeah.
I have a feeling I said one of those twice.
No, I don't think you did.
Nope.
Okay.
You said fire, grass, electricity, water.
Okay. I had a feeling. I thought I said water twice.
No.
Anyway. But
The Elite Four definitely a challenge back then.
definitely.
I mean, now
Did you know that Lance's Dragonite knew an illegal move?
tackle
Really?
Lance's Dragonite knew barrier.
and tackle
Dragonite's not supposed to learn barrier.
or
Okay.
tackle.
Not tackle!
Tackle is the best move ever.
I thought Harden was the best.
Well,
Maximum hardness Metapod.
talking about talking about damage moves. We're talking status moves. Harden's the best ever.
Hmm.
Stun Spore.
Is it Harden? No. Anyway,
Stun Spore.
I don't think I really had any favorite back then. But did you have any like favorite type back then or anything like that?
I'm trying to think favorite types.
Not Psychic. Psychic was, I think, was
Yeah.
crazy overpowered
Mm-hmm.
in Generation 1 because its weakness was Ghost, but the only Ghost types were also part Poison.
Yeah.
So, like, then that was Ghastly, Haunter, and
Yeah.
Gengar. And the only damaging Ghost move was Lick,
Yep.
which wasn't very powerful.
No. But I at the time probably fire or electric or maybe even fighting were my favorites.
I'd have to say, like, Fire or Grass. Grass was pretty good.
Yeah. But
Psychic was good,
Yeah.
but it was really, really overpowered.
yeah.
Because Alakazam, Mr. Mime was no slouch.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Mewtwo.
No.
About you, Jeff? Favorite type?
Favorite type?
From back then. That you can
Back then.
remember.
Fire, water, electric, grass,
Are you?
rock, ground,
Yeah.
ice.
Can
I can't really say dragon because there was only one.
Yeah.
There was only one dragon move.
Yeah.
There was ice back then?
Ice beam, blizzard.
Oh, you mean type of...
Type of Pokemon.
Yeah.
type
Yeah.
of- Okay. I like water.
Water.
Yeah.
Water's a good choice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It also makes it like a little bit more challenging because even back then there were so many water types.
Yeah. I mean, now there's... But... I guess a follow-up question could be... Like... Now, like, looking back, would you say, like you have a favorite type from that generation based on the Pokemon that are that type? If you catch my drift.
I think I get what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say, Al?
I lost my train of thought.
Jeff?
Looking back.
There's it's 151 Pokemon.
Yeah.
Even
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 like
now.
there's still 151.
Yeah.
There's 151 of those things.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
But, yeah. Need a minute.
what was the question again?
I don't know how to phrase it phrase it good.
Phase it.
Phrase it good. Looking back now,
Okay.
would you say there's a favorite type, like favorite Pokemon type from that generation based on the Pokemon of that type?
I'd probably still say fire.
Fire. What did you do?
I'd still say water.
Crap! I'm weak against Jeff.
Well, why? I would probably say fire too. Well, looking back, I would most likely definitely say fire, just because the Charmander line, which I love in the first place.
I would have to say either fire or ground because ground is
Yeah.
annoying.
Oh, yeah, ground's good too. I mean, looking back, the Nidoran families, and like I said, Kimo Marowak.
Oh, like Nidoking and
Yeah.
Nidoqueen.
Yeah.
Because Nidoran and Nidorino,
Just poison.
they were just poison.
Rhyhorn.
Rhyhorn.
Right on.
Rhyhorn was like one of the few Pokemon that evolved, but you could keep it unevolved, and it's still pretty powerful.
Same thing with like Magmar, Electabuzz, and Rhydon. Or could be better than their evolutions.
Yeah.
Just because the difference between the two is slight, I think.
Okay.
But I would probably say Fire for Gen 1 as well, though, looking back.
Wasn't there Onyx?
Onyx, yeah.
Onyx was so... he was disappointing to me in general. Because in the anime, Onyx was made to look like a beast.
Yeah.
But in the game, he wasn't that great.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like, his HP stat was like...
Defense.
His defense his physical defense was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But his HP, and given he has a 4x weakness to 2 really common types,
Yeah.
that being water and grass,
Yeah.
it's like, yeah.
Yeah. But like I said, the anime and the game were like same world, same universe and whatnot, but just
completely different in their own right.
Which I love, but at times anyway.
Yeah.
But I mean, with fire types, you got the Charmander line, you got Ninetales, Arcanine, Magmar. Just so many great fire types. Do you have any favorite water types? Jeff?
No, I actually liked Squirtle and...
Blastoise was pretty badass. Looked pretty badass.
Even though I don't think we originally picked Squirtle.
Oh, for the starter?
Yeah, my brother and I.
That's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. I mean,
I still love
Yeah.
Blastoise.
It's a big blue turtle with
cannons.
With cannons in its shell.
Yeah. It's pretty badass.
It's like, I remember when I was a kid, I always wondering, like, are those cannons made of metal? Are they made out of bone?
That's a good point. I mean, they are silver, but
it's like, are they made
Pokemon? So who knows?
It's like,
because I never had a holofoil Charizard. I had a holofoil Blastoise.
Oh, nice.
Never found a Charizard.
It's okay. I think I went to a shop near my doctor's office in a different town, but I think they had it in the display case at the time or something.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, I need that. So much work put into my set, and it's one of those things like I needed to sell them, but looking back, I wish I didn't.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, Blastoise is pretty badass. I mean,
yeah, I honestly think there was nothing wrong with any of the starters.
No,
because like Venusaur was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Charizard was really cool. It's like you either have like a big 4-legged dinosaur with a giant flower on its back, which like in some senses looks like kind of weird. It's like, oh, we got a big flower.
Yeah.
But then it's like you got Charizard.
Yeah. Basically, it's a dragon. It's not a dragon type, but it flies, it's lizardy, and it breathes fire.
Right. And then you got Blastoise, a giant blue turtle.
Maybe he's just a large gecko with wings.
Gecko?
With Sceptile. Trico is my boy. Inside jokes.
Yeah, I mean, even the pre-evolution... I think the only pre-evolution regarding the starter, or stage, I should say, for the starters, I didn't really care for was Wartortle for some reason.
Hater.
Hater gonna hate.
Yeah. Well, just
it's like...
Just because the was it like the ears, or
like
kind of thing?
They look kind of like wingy.
Yeah, it looked kind of weird for me. I look at it, I'm like, kind of like... I don't know. That's like, just visually, though.
That's okay, because like usually for me, with any of the starters, like the middle evolution, I try to breeze through it pretty quick.
Yeah.
Because like I think like Ivysaur doesn't look too bad. Yeah. Wartortle kind of wonky.
Charmeleon
I liked, but I didn't like him at first because of Ash's Charmeleon in the anime was a dick.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So it's like
Douchemeleon.
Yeah.
I love that though.
Chardoucheleon.
Sounds like a Kardashian. Dear God.
Oh God.
Anyway.
And on that note,
guess a final question to wrap things up would be, that I have anyway, would be, do you guys have like a favorite gym for Gen 1?
Gen 1.
Let's see, there's Brock, there's Misty.
Brock with the rock.
Misty with water, Erica with grass, Surge with electric.
Yep.
Sabrina with psychic, Blaine with fire, Giovanni with ground, Koga with poison. I think that was all of them.
Yeah, I think so. I wasn't counting.
Brock, Misty, Surge, Erica, Koga, Sabrina, Blaine, Giovanni.
Yep.
That's 8.
Yep. Jeff?
I think I liked Brock. Just to say, I like Brock in the anime.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brock was pretty good. I mean, the first...
It's like,
The
even
first
though he's
few
like the
hits.
first one and he has like the lowest levels, it's like, that stage in the game,
Yeah.
it's pretty intimidating. Especially because he has an Onyx. And like, you don't know how powerful that thing is.
Yeah.
Yep,
And
true.
it sets things up for you. I mean, it's the first gym you face, so it's like, it's just a new experience for you.
Yep. Agreed.
What about you, Goo? What's your favorite gym?
Strictly from the games...
Yeah, go just
Yeah.
by the games.
I want to say Blaine just because of the fire thing, but
He also had like those question machines, where
Yeah.
it's like Blaine's gym could almost be one of the easiest gyms in the game because if you got the question right, you didn't have to battle the trainer.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
which
Yeah, I remember that now.
looking back, I would
I
just
would
get the question wrong. You
'Cause
always
it-
battle the trainers.
Yeah,
Never pass a trainer.
because it's experience.
Yeah.
Yep.
Plus, it's a good test
Yeah. It
because
is.
it's like the subordinate trainers in the gym are basically going to be around the level that the gym leader is. It's like going into
Like a few
Blaine's
levels
gym.
lower, but
Yeah, a few levels lower.
Still.
But it's like it would give you a warm up because it's like you could be like I think Blaine was around like high 30s, low 40s for levels. Maybe even in the I think he was in the 40s.
Yeah.
So it's like you could be like severely under leveled
Yeah.
and surpass all these trainers,
Mm-hmm.
and you get to Blaine and you're like toast.
Yeah.
No pun intended. Because of the fire.
But I mean, I want to say Blaine just because of the fire, but I'm trying to remember what Koga's gym.
It was the
What was it,
invisible
like-
walls.
I loved that, but see, I can't. It's hard for me to just choose one.
Pick one, fatty.
I can't. I really have to say it's a 3-way tie between Blaine, Koga, and Giovanni.
Pick. He picked.
Just because Giovanni is the final one.
Pick.
What about you? Al. Pick.
Shut up!
Go ahead.
I'd have to pick. I'd have to say Giovanni, just because like probably just for the challenge.
Yeah.
I think, and then like I'm really fond of ground types.
Yeah.
So
Plus, I mean, it's satisfying to complete that
Get the last
chapter.
badge.
Yeah.
and then like after you beat him, he's like, "Oh, I'm like Team Rocket done,"
Yeah.
and then he just disappears.
Yeah.
It's like, where the frig did he go?
Which is like, even though it's like it's video game logic, it always entertains me.
Yeah.
You beat someone in a Pokemon battle in the games, and they give up.
It's like nothing.
Yeah.
Well, in the real world, you probably got a gun pulled on you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
like
true.
the Safari Zone episode in the anime.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Gen 1. I mean,
Great generation. It's what started it.
Yep.
it's what got. I was there from Gen 1, and that's what got me in. I stopped after Gen 2, but
Don't worry, I did too.
Gen 1 got me into everything.
Like I've played every generation so far. It's like because I played one and 2 religiously.
Yeah.
And then I kind of fell out. Probably when 3 came around, but I got back into it like near the tail end of 3 as Gen 4 was coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Then been playing ever since.
I think I stopped after Gen 1,
Mhm.
after I had blue and yellow.
Yeah.
Because your data got erased.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I
It's
stopped
okay.
for a while, till black came out.
Yeah.
Black and white.
Which isn't bad. I mean, you started. I think you started at the right time. You came back in at the right time.
Yeah, because like They kept saying like Black and White is basically going to be like a fresh new thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not to say that like any other generation would have been the wrong time to get into, I guess,
Right.
but the graphics in Gen 5 and everything, it was a great time to come back in for you, I think.
It was.
Agreed. It was a great time to go through that charge stone.
Yeah, I was about to mention it.
In my defense.
Nope.
In my defense.
Nope.
In my defense.
Okay.
I had just made it through that cave, Al.
I
Okay.
walked through that cave. Slow-mo, fatty, Asian.
But
On that note,
Gen 1 was great.
was great.
It
I
was
mean,
great.
looking back, I can't go back to play it, I don't think, just because of...
Because there's no running shoes.
Not only that, but the Charmander line not learning any good fire attacks until like 30-something.
30-something if you kept the Charmeleon. Charizard
Yeah.
learns Flamethrower really late.
Yeah.
What if they remade the games? The
I would
originals,
love another remake
Like
using
a-
the new graphics.
like a red and blue remake.
Same for Gold and Silver and then
Mhm.
Ruby and Sapphire. I would love them.
If they just started from the beginning.
I would pay for that.
I would pay just for Red and Blue, or Green, I guess, remakes for using the new graphics that are coming out.
Using like from what I've seen of the Gen 6 graphics, they remade Red and Blue.
Be amazing.
It'd be amazing. I would pay money for it.
Yeah, it'd be a revamped nostalgia.
Yeah. Using today's technology and influence too. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I would love it.
Agreed.
I'd pay
Yeah.
for it.
I'd pay for it too.
But on that note, I think we should wrap up.
All right.
But I think, like we've said it a whole bunch of times, Gen 1, it was just like a great generation.
There will always
Football.
be a place in all our hearts for Gen 1.
Yep.
It's just nostalgia. It's what got us into it, I think.
And it's like,
Without it, who knows if we'd be as into Pokemon as we are.
I even had an Ash hat.
There
Back
you go.
then.
good job, Fred Durst.
now,
Just because it's a red hat.
Roman,
Just because it was a red hat does not make it the Fred Durst hat.
You and your hot dog, starfish water, whatever that album was called.
oh, hot dog flavored water and the chocolate starfish.
Yeah,
I had that.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
My brother got me into that. Music.
But,
Actually, real quick,
okay.
speaking of music, favorite music from the Gen 1?
Pallet Town.
Pallet Town.
Pallet Town. I would say Lavender. I do, but it's Pallet Town.
Yeah.
It's like... Jeff?
I don't remember.
It's okay.
The
That's
music.
okay. That's
It's
okay.
okay. I only know because I got them.
It's just one of those things I will probably remember once I hear it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then I'm
like,
like, oh yeah,
so it's like you hear, it's like the game starts, you hear the Pallet Town theme, it's like, it just, once you hear it, it's just like, okay, this is where it's beginning.
No, not from Gold and Silver, not from Heart Gold and Soul Silver, not from Fire Red, Leaf Green. The original is
The
where it's at for me.
original Pallet Town music.
Nothing, no remake can beat it for me.
Nope.
Next time, Jeff.
Next time.
Next time, Jeff, we will get you up to speed.
More so.
More so.
But yeah.
On that note, we will wrap up. We hope you enjoyed listening to our Poke Rambles.
And hopefully you are fans of Pokemon. If not, if you're...
Well, I mean, I assume they would be if they're listening to this.
Maybe they just like us.
Even if they're former fans and like they kind of fell out, I mean, it'd be nice to get back into it because it's Pokemon.
Pokemon is definitely, yeah. It's like if you're out, if you played it before but you kind of fell out of the loop.
It's fun to get back into.
It's really fun to get back into.
It really is
because it's not a game. It's a game that can gear to like people of any age.
Yep.
Like a little kid can play it. Like a 30-year-old man can play it. Anybody can play it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great thing about it.
It's a great thing about it. So,
yeah.
We hope you enjoyed listening to our Poke Rambles.
It won't be the last.
It won't. It definitely won't be the last. We have
Yeah,
a lot of
okay.
stuff to cover.
Yeah, just for Pokemon alone.
Yeah.
But
be sure to tell your friends. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Like the video, favorite, do all that stuff. Like us on Facebook.
Yep, on Facebook.
Follow us on Twitter.
Tumble us on Tumblr. I was about to say
Tumble us on Twitter.
I was about to say tumble us on Twitter.
Until then.
I'm Jeff.
I'm Al.
I'm Goo. Keep catching them all.
Don't use that slogan anymore.
I do.
There's too many.
Catch as many as you possibly can until you run out of room or get bored.
Gotta goo 'em all.
Gotta goo 'em all. Gotta goo 'em all. Gooey man.
Gross. Fatty. Gross.
Goo.
What? Why is everybody... Jet Set Radio!
Pokemon.
Get your dick out of my face!